Zera Shimshon.
All right, we're back in action.
Sorry, yes. Horizontal view, looking good.
Oh God, stop with the horizontal view. Don't worry.
We're doing Great Sheet again?
We're going to Hayes Sarah. That's it.
Hi, Sarah.
Introduce Charles. Nobody knows what he is.
Nobody knows what.
Who you are?
Nobody knows who I am. Why is that my fault?
The memory there is short-lived.
Charles Sakkal, all the way from
Hasn't been here
Brooklyn.
in several months.
I want everyone to take their paper. Look, I want everyone to take their paper.
He was fighting the war for us.
Everybody has on their what's it called? Everyone has their their soldier.
Yes.
Each one of these are a soldier. So everybody look at the paper and legit understand that you're praying for somebody. And also this class is really dedicated for my friend and my cousin, okay, Yaniv Abraham Ben Shimon, that who's in Duv Devan right now. And there's an article Zera Shimshon, if anybody wants to grab it. I mean,
An English one.
English? No, nobody wants it. Great, everybody take the Hebrew. I also want to give a shout out to my friend Ronnie Braha. He's in Brooklyn, new friend. Never met, but good guy. So we know. We're going to Aleph. We say everybody Friday night says. What do we say? We say Eshet Hayil. We say Eshet Hayil, right? Last Perek in Mishleh. Does anyone know how many Pesukim are in Eshet Hayil?
Aleph base, 22 must be.
22, very good. Yeah. So the Arizah says, what's the 22? Keneged. 22 is Keneged. More than that. 22 Sinorot that are in Shemaim that give down the Shefa.
The Gilev and Nisbach HaBoch. Gematria 22.
Bach, right. So it's important to know that whoever does not say Eshet Hayil really should. That's a very important thing, and that's how you get the beracha. Yes.
We have a beautiful sefer in English from the Zera Shimshon on
yes, Zera Shimshon. There is in English.
My daughter learned the whole thing. It was beautiful and very inspiring. Huh? No more English ones. Sorry. No, you're using it now. Sorry.
All right.
When what's his name, guys? You can give it to David.
Let's stop.
Can you? Are you sure those are not?
Those no, they're not.
Different parshas.
They're not. Bereshit, I think, has 3 or 4 volumes. Yeah. All right.
Here.
Why Dafka are we doing Zera Shimshon? Why is Zera Shimshon doing Eshet Hayil here? Because Sarai Menu, that's where it belongs. That's where it goes.
Rivka Menu as well.
Okay, well, Sarai was the first.
Also my wife.
Okay, we could keep the list going, but the Sarai Menu was the first. Let's go. Eshet Hayil Mimsa. Let's go. Tachlis, boys. So Zera Shimshon has an unbelievable question that I love. He goes, whichever way you look at it is a problem. However you want to translate this pasuk is a problem. Eshet Hayil Mimsa. What does that mean? That means if there's someone like this person in the world, you'll find her. And if there's no person in the world like this, then obviously you ain't going to find her, so why are you even bringing it up? That's a very good point. Right? It says, someone's going to find her. But if there's no Eshet Hayil in the world, then it's pashut that you're not going to find her. So what is this concept of Eshet Hayil Mimsa? You understand the question? Yaakov, again. The pasuk says, that's my leeway to ask it again. The question is, why does it say Eshet Hayil Mimsa? What does that mean? Eshet Hayil, who could find an Eshet Hayil? That's a question. Who could find an Eshet Hayil? And the question is, no matter which way you look at it, is an issue. Why? Because if you want to say that there is, if an Eshet Hayil is found in the world, right, then it's pashut that she's going to be found. You don't have to bring it up. But if you want to say that it's not possible to find an Eshet Hayil, then it's pashut that no one's going to find her. So what's the purpose of asking the question? It's either she's there or she's not. That's the question. Okay? We bring a Gemara. Yes.
Did you find your Eshet Hayil?
Yes.
Did I find my Eshet Hayil?
Yes.
So each individual has different characteristics for their Eshet Hayil.
But my Eshet Hayil is not yours.
Exactly. No, it's exactly.
But the question is on the pasuk, not on you. The question is on the pasuk. Why is the pasuk saying Eshet Hayil Mimsa? So which one is it? Am I going to find her or am I not going to find her? Is there this woman, this magical woman? Does she exist or does she not exist? There's a Gemara in Yevamot that says in Israel, what would they say? And one of my favorite things, by the way. Okay, they bring this up in Yevamot and also Masechet Berachot. It says matzah or motzeh. What is matzah? Right, famous. I love it. My favorite. Matzah means did you find good, Or motzeh, did you find someone you gotta like get out, kiss? You have to kiss her out, like she's no good, right? So there's different things. What it referring to? One of them is a wife. You found a good wife, or you found a bad wife. Matzah means I found. Motzeh means to get rid of, right? To kick out, or to kick out, right? To clean out, right? So the Rif asks a question, and he goes, Lichora, it's really a question without a reasoning. Why? Because how is a husband or a groom supposed to figure out if the girl, if he found matzah or motzeh from the first night? Meaning, you're talking about, did you find a good wife? Did you not find a good wife? How do you expect? You just married her. Everybody, by the way, everybody wants their life to be full of 6-month relationships. You know how they say that? Because like the first 6 months are always the best. Then it gets much trickier and much harder. You know, really, nobody. I'll keep that one to myself.
It's being recorded right now, so we're just going to...
It's okay, my wife's watching. Look, it says in Pirkei Avot, right? What does it say? It says, Al tarbeh siha im ha'isha. Don't talk so much with women. And then what is it talking about? It's talking about your own wife. Kal v'chomer eshet havero. Kal v'chomer, your friend's wife. You shouldn't be talking to your friend. So what's the peshat? What does it mean? Right? Al tarbeh siha im ha'isha, my own wife. Don't talk to my wife so much. What does that mean? So I asked my rabbi once, Rabbi Azenkot, and I go, Rabbi, what does this mean? Al tarbeh siha im ha'isha. He goes in his heavy accent. He goes. It means you shouldn't be so bougie with your wife. Like I go, what does that mean? He goes, everything should not be about the looks and the physicality and whatever. Everything about your wife that you love past a certain time is all about what she does for you and the children of the house. It is not about what she does for you specifically, and it's not the way she looks like. It's not meant to be that way. That's not how a marriage is grown. A marriage is grown through the experiences that you both deal with and you both go through. Right or wrong? Makes sense? Yaakov, you're smiling, huh? Yeah.
I'm just thinking of a Fiddler on the Roof, where he asks her, do you love me? And after doing all this for you, bringing up children, etc., yeah, I love you. It's something that grows. It's not based on physicality.
No, it's not based on physicality. So, but the first question, the Rif is asking a question. In Israel, they would say, when the guy first got married, they would say, Matzah or motzeh? Did you find the good one or did you find the bad one? Meaning you have to get rid of her. So the Rif is asking, it's not a real question, because how do you expect him to understand the answer from the first day? They just met. Well, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Everything's great in the beginning. So that's not a fair question. And the second question is, what does it matter? Why was it the way to ask him, did you find a good wife or not? If he found a good wife, it's too early for him to know. And if he found a bad wife and he finds out that she's no good, then what are you rubbing in his face? They're married already. What do you want from the guy? You can't do anything about it.
Also, what kind of bonehead is going to say motzeh?
The bonehead.
There you go.
Right, so look inside. Guys, look, we're on Resh Chav Bet. I want to make sure everyone has it. At the bottom of the page, it says Ve'od.
Ma'arav is in Eretz Yisrael?
Ma'arav is Eretz Yisrael, yes. It says Ve'od. Ma to'elet yesh b'she'elatam. What advantage is there for asking this question? Demimana shach, no matter which way you look at it, she'im hi isha tova, gam belo divrehem hi tova. Right, even without their words, she's good, and I don't need people to ask me. It's not like you're helping to improve her. She is what she is. If she's good, she's already good. It doesn't mean nothing. And if she found somebody bad, if he found somebody bad, there's nothing he can do to it's done. They got married already. They got to deal with it. He's got to deal with it. Huh? Right. What are you going to do? So it's a Gemara in Ketuvot that says what? You're saying to how do you express it? How do you say
condolences?
Talk about condolences?
Like, you're going to make him feel worse.
You're going to make him feel worse. Right? That's the Gemara in Ketuvot. What are you going to bring it up for? If he did find the bad girl, at the end of the day, what are you going to bring it up? And even if you bring it up, what's the purpose? Are you just going to do it to make him feel, you're trying to console him. Meanwhile, it doesn't do you any good. You're just going to make him feel worse. So this whole question of matzah or motzeh makes no sense. So far, so good. Reuven, you with me? When you talk slightly low, it makes me feel like you're not.
I'm so with you.
Okay.
Yay.
So by the way, so Zera Shimshon said, oh, my boy. So Zera Shimshon says it's not a real question. Why is it not a real question? We're doing Aleph Eshet Chaya, by the way.
The whole thing?
No, we'll see how far we get. So it's not a real. That's why I said 8:30 instead of 9:30. It's like,
We're gonna be here till 3 a.m.
right?
I thought I got to stay longer.
No way! Amazing.
It's unbelievable.
Amazing. Yetzirah. Amazing. All right. Look, I had we had a meeting just when Chesed had a meeting today to go and meet by Rabbi Pinto's house. He's a very big rabbi, the Baba Sali's grandson. But I had a havrutah today at 3:00. Okay, so I said I can't go because I have I don't want to meet Bitul Torah. I'm gonna. P.S. The guy canceled on me. My 3:00 havrutah canceled on me. So I said it's not meant. It wasn't meant to be for me to go to Rabbi Busa, to Rabbi Pinto. It wasn't meant. But crazy, come on. He never cancels. So Zera Shimshon says the question's not a real question. Why? Because they were not. So hold on. So he wouldn't ask after the wedding. This question, matzah would be asked when they first meet. The first date. He would ask on the first date, was matzah or motzeh, good girl or not good girl? Why? They would ask him matzah or motzeh. So you see, it's not that they asked after, they would ask before. The first date, which makes sense. Well, you don't remember, I hope you do. You went on a date, right? You go home, your parents ask you, how was it? Right? Your parents ask you, how was it?
My dog did, but...
Your dog, your parents, when you were 20?
Or when I was 20.
I'm sorry, you remember. So the question is, why did they ask this? What is the thank you, what is the understand, why they asked that? Matzah or motzeh, why davka did they ask this? Again, not after the marriage, not after they get married, but after the first date, right after they first see each other. So the question is, what's the kavanah that they're asking? The kavanatam hayta lishol leota hata. They're asking the guy, if this is the woman that you received without prayer, meaning without influence, or not. What does that mean? Look inside. Im zot haisha bata lo beli tefila ubeli shum hafsara shelo. Without any interference on his part, right? Bevadai hi amazal shelo bat zugato. Did you pray for this girl or not? If you prayed for her, motzeh. We'll get there. I know.
Hold on. What do you mean? Did he pray for her?
Don't cheat. You're cheating.
I'm asking a shaila.
You also cheating.
I should keep it to myself. I don't know the Torah.
That's a good question. What's the question? Go ahead.
Okay. Did he pray for her like, please Hashem, send me my wife? Or did he pray for her, please Hashem, look over my wife, take care of my wife?
She's not your wife yet. You just met her.
Hashem, hu haya, hu hoveh, hu yiyeh.
Stop talking to me things in Shamayim. We're talking tachlis. Did you pray or not? What
did
is
you
that?
Pray that she would come? Like, please Hashem, send me my wife.
Versus.
That's the question. Versus.
Please Hashem, make her my wife.
Now you're both cheating.
That's all.
Yeah. I was trying to get out of you.
We can't have it that we have ruach.
I was trying to get out of you. What does it mean? She prayed. First date, not marriage.
No.
So what is he praying for? Why would someone say, did you pray or was it stam? Why would that be good? Why would that be a bad thing? We always pray.
Yeah.
War, we pray. What's the problem?
Not to be like, so that would be the right person, as opposed to just saying there's another date, which could be going well or not.
Oh, here's the opposite.
But he's praying. They say, did you pray or did you not pray? I mean, did you pray for this girl or did this just come by through your mazal?
Like, did you daven or did you not daven?
Yeah, but the question is what?
But here he's saying the opposite.
What am I davening for?
You're davening for your wife. Please Hashem.
I'm not supposed to daven for my wife?
Yeah, that's what it's
talking
asking.
about.
Did you daven or did you not daven?
Let's see.
If you didn't daven, it was through your mazal.
So let's see what it says in Sotah. Okay, the first daf is Sotah. So bevadai hi amazal shelo bat zugato vezeu matzah lashon avar. What is matzah? Lashon past. What is the past? To hint to you, was this the girl that was set up with you 40 days? Remember, after you conceived, 40 days in your mother's belly. 40 days. That's when you get your zivug.
But wouldn't you think that this is a good one?
That's the question. That's the question is, did you pray for her? The first question is, okay, matzah or motzeh. Let's break it down. Matzah. The first question is, did you pray for her or not? Right? That's the question. That the kid comes home from the date, whatever, sees the parents. How you doing? Good night, because that's the right way. Tell your kids you always come say good night to me before you go to sleep. That's what my parents did. That's the right thing, no matter what time it is. And I understand it now because my kids are getting older and they don't listen. right? And right, you understand? So when they ask matzah or motzeh, so the Zera Shimshon is explaining what does matzah or motzeh mean. He starts with matzah. Matzah, remember, is the good one. What is matzah? From 40 days? Matzah is lashon avad. So is this one like the zivug that you were destined that you were destined to be with, that you were destined to be with? Is that the one is that the matzah, or is it, did you get to this girl because of your prayer, because you prayed, right? Kemo shamru, like it says Moed Katan. It says Shema yikademenu aher b'rahamim. So Shemuel tells, I forgot the case. Who remember? Oh, Shimshon, not Shemuel. Shimshon asked for this.
Rabbi, Charles.
I'm not a rabbi. Stop doing that. Where's my book? Hello, you come. Where's my book?
No, I remembered while I'm already on the way.
Fair enough. Yes.
It's too weird that you say
Welcome.
if you didn't daven for it.
Shh, boys.
If you didn't daven for it, it's the good one. And if you daven for it, it's not going to be a good one.
So what does it mean?
The opposite of the whole Torah we know.
Right, exactly. But what's the question? What's the issue? The issue is what happened to Shimshon. What happened to Shimshon? He got punished because he married a Pelishti, right? A woman from Pelishtim, right? But that was destined. But what was the problem that he did? He told his father, I want that one. I want that girl.
Instead of what?
Instead of any Pelishti that comes that's destined to me, it'll be mine. By you praying for this particular one, what did you do? You now made it where I want this one. Not I want a girl that's a good girl that's going to raise my kids the right way. No.
Yeah, the prayer doesn't have to be on that one.
Alex, we don't do this.
Right, the point is you're taking out the whole.
Love this guy.
You're taking that whole option.
Okay, let's review. We're starting Eshet Chaya because we're Hayes Sarah, and Sarah Imenu is the first Eshet Chaya that we have. That we bring a very strong question that Yossi happened to ask me the other day. What is the purpose of saying Eshet Chaya miyimsa, right? Which means in Eshet Chaya, who can find an Eshet Chaya? Well, the question is it's messed up whichever way you look at it. Either if they do exist in Eshet Chaya, then okay, you'll get it. Look, vest. Everyone's looking for vests and helmets, right? So could you find helmets or who can find vest? No, either you can find them or bless you, or you can't find. If you can't find them, then why are you asking the question at all? And if it does exist in the world, then why are you asking the question? Because it's obviously available out to the world. You're saying it, who could find her? Either it's there or it's not.
I don't understand this question.
Mr. Bloomberg. By the way, everybody pass out our names. Our brothers and sisters' names. Pass that, make sure everybody gets one. You can't have mine. This one's mine. Yeah, go ahead. Ask the question. Mr. Bloomberg. Yeah, go ahead.
It's a strange question. I mean, guarantee if something is out there for me, I'm going to guarantee to get it.
If it exists in the world, why are you saying it that no one can find it? Eshet Chaya miyimsa. Who can find her? So if there is an Eshet Chaya in the world, then somebody will end up finding. Even if there is one, she will be found. She will be found. That's what he's saying. But if there is not an Eshet Chaya in the world, it's pashut that she's not available to be found. They're not in stock. They're not around. So what is this? What does the Eshet Chaya miyimsa have anything? The question is not really relevant. Yet we say it every Friday night with wonderful eyes to our wives who...
What should it say? Oh, thank you for an Eshet Chaya.
Maybe skip the first pasuk. I don't know. But I hope
because I say it was who could find
Matzat Eshet Chaya, right? Me Matzat Eshet, right? So like that. Very good. Very good. But so whichever way you look at it, it's a problem. The way the words are right. Very good, Mordechai. Very good. Really.
You could say, I found my Eshet Chaya.
Right. Say, I found my Eshet Chaya.
Or it's like, who can find an Eshet Chaya? So I
Who
settled.
could I possibly find this wonderful?
No, the yellow glasses. All right, boys, we're reviewing. So again, let's review the two questions. If there is an Eshet Chaya in the world, it's pashut that someone's going to find her. And if there's not an Eshet Chaya in the world, it's pashut that no one's going to find her. So what is the purpose of writing Eshet Chaya miyimsa? Who's going to find an Eshet Chaya? It's either she's available or she's not. We bring a Gemara Yevamot. Okay, Samik Gimel Amud Bet. That says in Israel they would say matzah or motzeh. Nice. And I didn't even have to get your daughter to come over to get you to the house.
You should be in recruitment.
Yeah, you need
So-
to give Ari another plate. Ari,
Again, who remembers our question?
yeah, good.
Our question is,
The question is, why ask the question?
Fine.
why ask the question? You know
Why
what?
ask
That's
the
the most
question?
Jewish answer I've ever heard, and it's 100%
Why
right.
ask the question?
It's
It's
on
question.
point. It's
It's
very on
question.
point.
That's the way you want to
Boys,
answer.
the question is, if she is available in the world, then it's pashut, someone's going to find her. And if they don't exist in the world, why are you asking the question? Because it's pashut that they can't be found. And we start by bringing Gemaran Yevamot that says that when a person would get married to a wife, he would say, Matzah or Motzeh. They would ask him, did you find one? Or Motzeh means, did you need to Motzeh from the house, right? You got to kiss her in Arabic. Exactly, right. Rabbi Yehuda in the Masechet Yevamot, best Gemara ever. Because who's as great as this woman that's in the Pasuk? So Rabbi Yehuda says, your mother. And then when it talks about that a woman's words are sharper than a Nahash, and Rabbi Yehuda sees son Esim, who's like who? He goes, like your mother. Same as on the top and the low. Okay, so if he says Matzah or Motzeh, right? The Rif, so that's what they would ask. But the Rif asks a question. The Rif asks, Lichora, the she'elah is without a reason. This question doesn't make sense. There's no reason, because how could a hatan, right, between one night understand if he married a good wife or not? It's too soon. Nobody, and I'll prove it to you if you say, oh no, meet a girl one day, spend 24 hours with her, and then decide if you're ready to marry her. It ain't that simple. Do me a favor, okay?
Love at first sight.
What?
Love at first sight.
Sure. Actually, I'll tell you, truth be told, I told my friend in work when I first met my wife that I'm going to marry her. I did say that. Stop it. She denies it, but I know that it was true. But, so the Rif has a question, how can it be that, how is he going to know, right, if she's a good wife or not, right? And even if, and how does the question help altogether? Because if he did find a good wife, right, he's not going to know. But if he found, what's the question, right? How is this helpful? The question, right? Regardless, if he did find a good wife, right, without their words, she's still good. We don't need you to ask this question for him to realize on the first day that she's good. Like if you know that she's good, if you happen to know she's good. Nothing. And if she's bad, what are you rubbing it in his face for? Because now he's got to say it out loud, right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing, and all you're doing is making him more embarrassed. So really, then we say that really it's really not a question. Why? Because what they asked was not when they got married; it was when. I got to repeat the whole thing again. Right? They got married. Oh, beautiful! Right here, no, next to me. Come on, give me a gun. Come on, Emmett. Why not? Let me go. Okay. Give me a napkin. I need a napkin somewhere. I need a napkin. Thank you. Okay.
Yo, Misha.
Luim is back.
Good to see you. So now what do we say? The question is, why do we ask this? Okay.
Big Chazara, yeah?
Okay, all right, relax. It's fine. It's a month. It wasn't a year. So the question is there. Give him a book. Set him up. Where's going to Eshet Hayel? You saw your wife already, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Pretty much sure.
So what? So we're asking, right? Eshet Hayimim Sa. What is the purpose of asking this question? Because in Israel they would ask, Matzah or Motzeh, you found a good wife or you found a bad wife? The Riv asks a question, he goes, what does it matter? How is he going to know within the first day? They also ask, what is the Torah? How is it advantageous to even ask this question? Because if she's bad, first of all, if she's good, then there's nothing that you're not giving me. You're not adding anything to me. I know she's good, and if she's bad, all you're doing is throwing it in my face, and now I got to feel like you got to remind me that I'm with a bad wife, right? But we answer that it's not a real question because the question of matzah or motzeh happens when? On the first date, not after they get married. And what does it mean, matzah or motzeh? We said matzah is lashon avad, previous, past tense, which means what? Is she the one that was designated for you from the first 40 days, after the 40 days of your, whatever, pregnancy or conception, whatever, your formation, whatever you want to call it. 40 days in the belly, the Zohar HaKadosh says, after 40 days, you get your zug. Okay, you get your, how do you say zug in English? You match. You match.
Soulmate.
Quick question though. There is either a Tana or an Amara in the Gemara that says that you ask the question by the chuppah. Yeah, there is an opinion.
No, they ask that. Do you really want to get married to her? No, like something like that.
Hey, no, it says matzah matzah. You ask by the chuppah.
Oh, they didn't do that to me.
No, in the Gemara. In the Gemara, it says.
Good.
So there's Zera Shimshon saying, but he's bringing a different opinion.
He's bringing different. He's tying it into a Gemara and Sotah, explaining matzah, because matzah is Lashon Avad. Motzeh, you're going to learn, is not Lashon Avad. It's Atid.
Right, so matzah,
Which one is this? The past or present or future? So what's the past part? Is she the one that was destined to you or not? That's matzah. Right? Or did you pray for her? Did you pray for this specific one? And if you prayed for this specific one, now you're playing God. It's an issue. Why? Because look at the last paragraph over here. Im zot isha bata lo ayede tefilata. We know our tefilahs are strong. Our tefilahs are strong. Did you? And so motzeh is the bad one. You're kicking her out. Did you pray for this particular one? Because if so, that's not a good thing. We know for because we have a Gemara in Moed Katan. We're going to get to in a minute about Rav. But we brought up, which is quickly, it's outside the Zera Shimshon. We have a case of Shimshon. I think the Gemara brings this in Moed Katan. Shimshon married a Pelishti, right? From Pelishtim. But he got punished for that. But the question was, we knew he was born with the plan of him marrying a Pelishtim and this whole situation was going to happen. So why did he get punished? He got punished because he told his father, I want that girl. This is the one that I want. So because he you understand? He decided I want this one, not a Pelishti, whichever one comes to me, whichever one is destined to me, I'll take. Not that. No, I want that one. I want that house. I want this one. So because of that, that's how he got punished even more. It's very scary stuff. Okay, so what does the Gemara say in Moed Katan? Shema Ikadim. Okay, so Shemuel, you have Rav and Shemuel. Shemuel says, Mr. Brenner, Shemuel says that maybe you should rush and marry her because someone else might come and scoop her up. And if she does that, it's a problem. So he says what? So look what it says. V'zeu motzeh. Lashon hoveh. Not atid. I'm sorry, hoveh. Oh, come on. It's like you forgot where I live.
I did forget.
Did you lose my number? Did you delete my number? We'll go through it later. Shematza'a atah. Did you find her now? Because of your tefillot now you're causing her to come to you through your tefillot. But it's not the proper way. Right? Ve'az, and therefore, en zivugo ole yafeh. It's not proper. Right? But it says that Rava heard a guy saying, I want to marry, screaming out to Hashem, I want to marry this girl. And Rava tells him, don't do that. Don't pray for a specific person. Right. And this person did not listen. Okay? And I don't want to spoil it, but later the Gemara goes on and says, he ends up hearing the guy screaming, praying to Hashem, Hashem, please kill me or take her. I can't take it anymore. And Rava says, I told you. I told you to listen to me. I told you. Okay? You got whatever comes to you. By the way, I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure that everybody here met their wife in a very, whichever way it happened. It's always a funky way how it happened. That's why, because that's Hashem doing it. There's a story in the Gemara where I forgot which of the Tanaim or the Amoraim was asked by one of these princesses. Asked what's so hard, right? Which one?
Oh gosh.
Not Shimon ben Shetach.
I was gonna say Rabbi Shimon.
I don't remember. But he says, what's so hard with the zivugim? So what does he do?
I think it was
matches up his
No, Rabbi Yossi?
I think so.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't know. Maybe. So he says. So I don't remember. You're the Avrech, no?
So I'll go look for you. I'll get back.
Inshallah, I'll get it tonight. I know. I'll wait for a voice talk. Give it to you. Look it up.
What's the rabbi?
No, it is. I think it might be in Baba Metzia. I do.
I think
So what does he say in Pei Vav, Pei Zayin, like the Peis, in the Peis?
I have a question though.
Yes.
Might ruin it, but there's matzah motzeh and this is meshet chayim mitzah. So that's like.
So we're gonna get there in a minute. We're gonna get there exactly. Yes, we're gonna get there.
Okay.
We're gonna get there. We talked about avad. We're talking over, and then after we're gonna talk. What's it called? Atid. We're gonna talk atid. So the question is what? So here, Eli. So the question is. So what I was saying about the story of the Gemara is that. So what did she do? She took 1,000 slaves, male, 1,000 slaves, female, and put them together. And they end up coming back the next day. Everybody had like a black eye and it was hip because everybody's beating each other. Because it doesn't work that way. You can't just, whoever you were with is who you're with. Good. So now, Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Come on, we need more chairs. We need more chairs.
There is one there. One chair there, and there's
So look, again, we're going again. Chaim, you ready? Eshet Chaim Sa. This is how you learn, boys. It's not a one and done. Eshet Chaim Sa, right? If you found it or not, right? What's the question? Matzah Motzeh. Tidy.
There's one over there.
Yeah, there's one over there. There's an empty chair there. So the question was, what are you bringing it up? Hey, what's your name? Yosef what? Huh?
Oh,
Whitesburg.
wow.
Nice to meet you.
Each other for years. Shechiyanu.
Okay, later. Okay, we're gonna move on. We're not gonna review. So now the question is, again, we're gonna review. Let's review. Should we review? Can we review, boys? Can we review one more time? Can I get one more time? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, listen. We have a pasuk Eshet Hayimim Sa. Why? Because Sarai Imenu. We're talking about Sarai Imenu. Okay, and why Sarai Imenu? So it gets hotter real fast. And why Sarai Imenu? Because she's the first Eshet Chayil. The question is, why say Eshet Hayimim Sa? Meaning, what's the difference? Either if there are Eshet Chayils in the world, they will be found. If there's no Eshet Chayil in the world, then what do you even bring it up? Because they don't exist. So what does this Eshet Chayil mean? Who's going to find an Eshet Chayil? Either they're on the shelves or they ain't on the shelves. It's the one or the other. And we bring a Gemara Yevamot that says what? We say that in the Ma'arav, right? Where's Ma'arav? Eretz Yisrael. Very good. They say what? Matzah Motzeh. What is Matzah Motzeh? Boys, listen up. Matzah Motzeh is, did you find the good one or did you find the bad one? Right? So the Rif asks a question, and he asks. By the way, the Rif is the one that wrote En Yaakov. All right, En Yaakov is the set of books that has all the stories in the Gemara. But if you read the introduction, it tells you it has to fit within one of 12 categories. Okay, it doesn't just pile up the stories. One of 12 categories. Very interesting. So Matzah says, what the Rif asks the question. It says, really, there's no reason to ask this question because how's the guy going to know that the girl's the right one after the first night? It is what it is. I mean, you can't tell if you scored on the first. That's why it's called the honeymoon phase, right? It's called the honeymoon phase on purpose. When you go into business with somebody, it's called you're still in the honeymoon phase. They got to go through the 7-year itch. You know what I mean? And then you can decide. So the Rif is asking, how's he going to know after the first day? The other question the Zera Shimshon asks is, what is it? The question doesn't help regardless, because if he found a girl that works, then beauty. You're not adding anything. If he found a girl that's bad, what's the purpose of rubbing it in his face? All you can do is make him feel bad. That's where we're at. Okay? Then we say that really the question is not a real question. Why? Because they did not ask before they got married. They asked after they went on a date. The kid would come home, the guy would come home, and the husband, the parents would say, Matzah Motzeh. You found or you didn't, or you want to get rid of. What does that mean, Matzah Motzeh? Matzah is Lashon Avad. Did you matzah her? Meaning, is this the one that was designated for you from the first 40 days of your existence? Or Motzeh? Motzeh is Hoveh. Now, did you pray for this specific one? Because if you prayed for this specific one, that's no bueno. That ain't good. That's not good. That's the key.
Right,
And
3 months is also like you're still finding. You're in the right. He hasn't,
you're in the finding phase.
He hasn't developed all the way yet. You know, you're still figuring it out.
Meaning it's a present progressive.
No, but Motzeh also no.
Came in late, but
No, I hear you. No, it's a good question. No, because that's why Dikduk is very important. And if you guys study Rashi, a lot of the things that he says is always about Dikduk.
Right.
Why the Lamids are, why they have to get for Dagesh. Dikduk is very important. Remember, the hardest thing that's to learn is the most important. Let's make that very clear. Let me burst everybody's bubble right now. It's very important. Whatever's hard, take time and learn it because that's really what you need, and that's the biggest satisfaction you'll find. It ain't easy, and then nothing's easy. Anything easy? Tell me one thing that's important that's good for you that's easy. I cannot. So if you ever happen to think of one, let me know. Kiddush. Sleep is not good for you. What do you mean? Kohelet says there's a time to sleep. Pirkei Avot says don't sleep so much.
Not so much. You just need Shayna.
Okay, right. All right, yalla, let's go. So now we brought the story of Rav. Boys, we brought the story of Rav. Don't overdo it. That says what? Motzeh is Lashon Hoveh. That found a guy that was praying and screaming, Hashem, please give me this girl. I want this girl. And Rava says, you really shouldn't do that. Not a good idea. And he ends up, and 6 months or a year later, whatever it was, he sees him screaming out the same thing. Hashem, please either take me or take her because I can't stand it anymore. Oh, God. Okay? Oh, no. Now, so then what's the purpose of saying Matzah Motzeh? Is to warn the guy. Shh. Because what to warn him? To warn him that if he is zocher with his tefillah, because it can work. It can work where you can get her through your tefillah. Right? Avagav she'ena bat mazal. Even if this woman is not meant for him, yitchazek namid b'tfilato. Then now that he prayed for her and he got the girl that's not meant for him, he should now double up on the prayer. Double up on the prayer. Because in the zechut of doubling up on the prayer, it will help you and it will be siman yafa bezivugo. Right? Like it says in the Zohar HaKadosh of Parashat Vayelech. Meaning you pray, and even if it was something that's not meant, it could work. Tefillah, by the way,
It's like you pray for something, you get what you pray for, and then the work just begins.
always.
Unbelievable.
So how many times do we pray for a business deal to go through? I'm going to tell you a story. One time I called my rabbi and I asked for a beracha. Rabbi, I'm trying to get this hotel, please, this account, please, I need this. This is the one thing I need. So I get it. I get the hotel. Beauty. A month later, right, I talked to the rabbi again. He goes, "No, did you get that business deal you wanted to get? Did you get it?" I go, "What business deal? Well, which one? What are you talking about? Which I don't even know what you're talking about." He's like, "Oh, the hotel that you did." I go, "Oh, yeah. I got it, but now I need something else." Meaning, you always think that this is the one item that you need. It's fake. You always think this is the item that's going to make or break me. I need this. I need this account. I need this deal. I need this. I need that. It's not true. It's not true. Ari, am I wrong or right? How many times did you think in your life that this was it? I need this, and then. By the way, I remember Rabbi Sachs, Alav Shalom, Rabbi Jonathan Sachs. We had a private thing in the house, and they invited me. It was very nice of them, and we went, and he said, who remembers 20 years ago when we said, or 15 years ago when we said that we're talking about what the computers are going to do, and all we said were, what are we going to do all day? Meanwhile, you're busier now than you ever were before. The biggest scam in the world.
Right.
Yeah, it's the biggest scam. You understand? The Torah gives you the uniform. Don't worry about the no hotel or no account or no customer is ever going to support you. Hakadosh Baruch Hu Borei Olam, that's the one that supports you, and you best double down on that. You understand? Because everything that you know, right? That you look. We're all big boys over here. We all been through the ringer, or I have anyway, and I know that what is fake, what is a 3-card Monte game, and what is not, and what is emet. The only thing that's emet is the Torah Kedusha. The only thing that is emet, the only thing that actually stands, right? By the way, they're going for flying cars now. You know that? They're trying to go for flying cars. So what do they say? So now, if you look at the flying car commercial, what are they? They're ranking on the Teslas.
Tesla's
on it. Oh,
garbage. Give me a Tesla.
Garbage. Tesla's now garbage. Now you hear that? Tesla's garbage now. Okay, why? Because they're always trying for the new and the improved. The Torah Kedusha was made 1,000 years before the world. And if that's too hard to understand, then just think. It was been around for 4,000 years, 3,500 years. 2448 is when we got the Torah. And it hasn't changed. It's perfect. And everyone is still coming back to it. And that's what you have to say. That's how you know Torah is emet. So don't worry about anything else. And I don't have to prove it to you. You guys already know it. Because you've already been through it. And you know it from your own lives. You know it from your own lives. Right or wrong? Right, Yosef? Right? There you go.
The funny part is that as soon as the Torah changes, it's no longer kosher.
Wow. As the minute you by the way, they asked me to bring my last trip, this is the Brennan now, when we came with the family, I'll tell you. When we came now, they wanted us to bring a Sefer Torah with us. And we were so excited, we were honored. We were so honored. But then the guy got cold feet and he did it on his own. But I was honored. I was so honored. Like, it's okay if you don't want to say yes. You know? Like, what are you crazy? Like, of course I want to. Give it to me. But what do? In order to travel to Sefer Torah, what do? You have to remove the tefillah, the sewing, to make it pasul. So like you're saying, or sometimes they could scratch out a letter and make it pasul. One letter is pasul.
Why does it have to be pasul when you move it?
It's not, because you have a halakha shulchan aruch. You're not allowed to move a Sefer Torah whenever you want. We had a Sefer Torah here for a while. But then there's also a minyan that's on the block, so that we would share it. It's not proper. So take it. It's better that it stays in one spot, right? Than move it around. It's not because the halakha really Shulchan Aruch says you're supposed to walk with 10 people. The right way, 10 people, when you move a Sefer Torah from one place to another, you should, 10 people, it's black and white. Black and white. Why? Because Sefer Torah, it's not a mattress. I'm moving around left and right wherever you want. It's not furniture. You got to do the right thing with it. Okay? Torah Kedusha is the only thing that matters. Look, anything you want, boys, anything you want in life, you see it today. Okay? When your back's against the wall, the famous saying these days is there's no atheist in a foxhole. There's right. Everyone's in the army now. How many people now? Baruch Hashem, why? Because they know you have to realize you were formed. You were created. Right? You blew into me. Shh, boys. You blew into me. Yosef, he asked the question. You blew into me. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. Thank you. Baruch Hashem. Okay, so the question, that you are a part of him. That's why, by the way, you're not allowed to make fun of somebody. We learned that Zera Shimshon. Remember, we learned you're not allowed to make fun of somebody because when you're making fun of somebody, you're making fun of someone who has Selim Elokim. And if he makes fun of you, you're not allowed to make fun of him back. Of course, because you're making fun of his Selim Elohim. And if God's right there and he doesn't say nothing to the guy that made fun of you, you can't shut your mouth. If the Rav, the master says nothing, then the slave can't say nothing, so we have to keep our mouth shut. Very big musar, very important. It's okay. I actually got embarrassed 2 days ago, okay, because I did something. Whatever everything's very fast paced. It's okay, and I felt like I did something wrong. They're like, no, it's not your fault. I tell them, it's okay if I get embarrassed once in a while. It's not the worst. I can handle it. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Of course it stings.
Nachman says that's the whole thing.
What? Okay, let's keep moving. Yeah, it's good for you, but it still hurts. Working out 7 times a week is also good for you, but you know what? I don't see you doing that. Okay, yes, quick.
The question is, why can't you pray for a woman, not a specific?
That's exactly what we should be doing, and we're going to get to that. We're talking in a specific in a case when I asked for that woman, like Shimshon did. Shimshon said he knew he was going to marry one of the Pelishtim. Her name, Glida.
Delilah, really?
Glida.
I thought it was Delilah.
No, Delilah's later.
No?
Glida. I think it was Glida. Google it.
Glida?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
That's the story where the Hallelujah.
He marries more than one of the Pelishtim. Doesn't marry
Did he?
Delilah. Delilah's the last one. Delilah's the one who betrays him.
Okay.
You're thinking of that one, it's not Glida.
I know Glida. He wanted to marry the first one he married. I think was
The
Glida.
first one he was married was Glida. I don't remember.
I don't know. Whatever. We have to look it up. Okay. So why are we saying this? We're doing this to warn the guy. Shh. That because hello. You good over there or not?
I was waiting for the
Are you waiting for it? Were you waiting for that to happen?
I was also thinking about it.
Okay. So now the Yadua, it's known she'en hazivug olei yafeh, when the zivug doesn't go right, it's rough. When you see 2 people get married that it's not supposed to meant to be, problems happen. You get aniyut, you get a rough life, you get issues, and through the issues, God forbid, other issues happen. Right? If she dies, God forbid, yesh la sa'al lamut kodem zimana. You cause the woman to die early in a time, because if you put an American part and Israeli part together, they don't fit in the car. It might work for a little bit, but it's not. But what happens? The car you end up being a new transmission before you know it. But all I did was do something to the muffler. It doesn't matter. You put something together that didn't belong, and because you put something that didn't belong, there are consequences. So God forbid if she were to die early, right? Now this guy caused that to happen. I'm not putting Bizit out next time because this is a horrible idea. All I hear is and by the way, and if the guy dies early, right, now the girl, now is left as a widow. She's a widow, Azita. She's a widow. So either way, it's a bad deal. Right? And it's a bad siman for her. So you can't use these types of praises in Eshet Chayil, since this whole thing's about her.
Doesn't mention get the regime.
Huh?
Why did you say divorce and all these stuff? Why did you only say?
I don't like that word.
What do you mean? You prefer death over divorce?
I prefer none.
Why are you bringing like the worst stuff? Also, it's no good.
It's not for me. That ain't for me. It's above my pay. That's not for me. All right, let's find out the answer. So the question is why. So the whole thing about matzah and motzeh. So we talked about past. which is matzah, right? 40 days of birth, 40 days of conception. We talked about hoveh, which is, right, motzeh. Now, I'm praying for this one. So we can't use these terms. So what's next?
No.
Yimsa. Atid.
We'll find.
Why? Mishum hachi amar katuv eshet haymi yimsa. B'lashon atid. Why? Al yedei tefilotav bevadai ze efshar. Because we know to get an eshet chayil through his own tefilot is not possible.
No?
Not possible. We're going to see in a minute. Velo yorilu klum tefilotav negda. Im ena bat mazaloria. Why? How can it be that a man cannot pray? By the way, I don't know if you guys are holding your breaths. Like we're talking about everyone's wives. It's like a roller coaster. I kind of missed that one. All right.
I'm not worried. She doesn't watch the stream.
Mine does.
By the way, so I found it. So I was super confused because I kept looking it up. It's Gemara and Sota, right? Daf Beis. But it's easier to make a shidduch than to split the sea. But I couldn't find that anecdote about the.
It's in many places in the Gemara says that.
But I couldn't find that anecdote about the Tana and then the Greek woman that was mishadach for her.
Right.
It's a voracious rabba.
Really?
It's a voracious rabba.
Boys, you have some good stuff here, and you're in the back talking.
It's a voracious rabba, and the Tana is Rabbi Yossi, but it's not Rabbi Yossi ben Yozer. It's Rabbi Yossi ben Chalafta.
Halafta.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
It's so hard to find it because I'm looking all through Shas. There's a medrash.
Right, very good.
Well,
you should know what it says when you learn. By the way, you like this one. Shh. When you learn midrash, you get the same zechut as if you're learning Gemara itself, because you're learning about the Tanaim. Yes, I know you like that one.
The medrash is even older than the Shas.
Some of it, yeah. But it's all written with the same rabbis. It's all the same. So the question is, why Lashon Atid? Shh. Boys, why Lashon Atid? To show you that if you pray for her, you're not going to get it unless she's your zivug, Zev. Why? She ain't going to, just like that, huh? Thank God. By the way, thank God, because really, you wouldn't be able to come at all.
Where are you going?
Yeah. Got kids. So, even if you want to say, that it's possible that this Eshet Chayil will be without her zivug, because, by the way, we're all about the woman. What about, let's say the guy went on a hang gliding thing and it didn't exactly work out so well, the guy died. I mean, these things happen. So if these things happened, maybe the guy died early. Excuse me, am I not working out for you guys?
Are you not such a change? They're not so much tonight.
Some of us are listening.
Some of us. So listen.
Great to have you tonight.
So what? We're all excited. Don't be so excited then. So look, it's explaining that the fact that the woman herself is an Eshet Chayil, it will protect her from marrying somebody that's no good.
The Rav is speaking.
Don't call me that, please. You know, it bothers me. You know why it bothers me?
Why?
Because there's real rabbis out there that stop. Watch yourself. Legit, watch yourself. Okay, that you can't. Whatever.
Look at this room.
So what? So we can't learn Torah together. I have to be a rabbi in order to learn Torah. You don't have to be a rabbi in order to learn. Art Scroll has taught you that. So learn it twice, and then you'll be able to teach it.
Well, I will say the Gemara does say that anyone that you learn from, you should call your Rav. Even if
Okay, but that means half of us should be calling each other Rav then.
So then we should all call each other Rav.
Okay, so until we do, don't call me Rav.
Love soul.
He did a great job when you were gone.
Baruch Hashem, good.
He was really
Yes, by the way, thank you for covering me, and Mordechai, thank you for covering me also. So if you want to say that if Shashet Tishaer Eshet Chayil, so if you want to say that it's possible that the Eshet Chayil will be left without a zivug because the guy might have died because of something he did, or something just happened, his father sins, or any other reason, as if Shashet Yoilu Tefilotav Shel Adam Zeh Lakahat Ota Lo Leisha Im Kozer Amar HaKatuv Verachok Mipeninim Michra. Because you might assume, let's say she had, look, there's some great girls out there. Right, and sometimes they're older than whatever but there's unbelievable girls. Their amazingness will protect them from marrying the wrong guy. Beyond the pearls are her value. Michra is value, right? Why? Because we're going to see it in a minute. but it's explaining that
Kilo what? It's talking about the real zivug. Is there
a real zivug,
her real zivug's in Shamayim, and those
her-
are the girls that are gone.
her zechut is going to protect her from marrying the wrong guy. Because if a guy comes around and prays and say, "I want this girl," okay, it could happen, and he can get her.
But
If she is a eshet chayil, the zechuyot that she has will protect her from a bad zivug. That's what it is.
Despite his prayers.
Despite his tefillot.
Right.
That's the key. That's the key. Despite this tefillot.
Yep.
So how many times you're doing something? By the way, it's crazy. I'll tell you. Yisrael Weiss told me a story about his cousin who was in the army. Now I don't know. I think he's a young guy who didn't even go through basic training, and they put them in Gaza, something like that. No, he was a reservist. I'm sorry. No, he was a reservist. Because he was saying that the guns that they give the reservists generally don't work so well. They're not the best guns. And he says that he was on the thing and they're shooting and they're using the gun, they're shooting, and he says, "Thank God my gun works." And for 4 days, I think he wrote for 4 days, he learned to be one with his gun because it was like they were together. Then they go back home for a couple of days, or they go to the base for a couple of days. This is testimony, okay? I'm telling you testimony right now. And he goes for home for a couple of days. What do? You go to the shooting range. They have a thing to practice. He goes. All of a sudden, the gun gets jammed. The gun is jammed. Try to clean it, whatever. Try again. Jammed again. Jammed again. Jammed again. Takes it to the commander, whatever. They end up changing out the entire insides of the gun. The gun never worked. The gun never worked. This is, by the way, Mr. Brenner, you got it. I'll send it to you. He wrote it himself. And Yisrael Weiss sent it to me, and he sent it to me a week ago. I didn't get a chance to read it. He asked me today. I said, I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to read it. Okay, it's unbelievable. Okay, your tefillot means something.
I've heard that same story with
and he writes that also.
Like you handed these old guns, and they worked, and then as soon as they were done needing them,
it didn't work.
No.
By the way, there's gonna be books written. Books. You're gonna see books coming out. Please, we're busy now. Wait. We're gonna get a lot. You're gonna see. So now let's continue. So now, what does verachok mipin michra mean? Listen to this. The Rabbi Menachem Azariah is who? Is Rab Mepano. I think it's Rabbi Elazar Mepano. I think Rav Menachem Mepano. Menachem Elazar. Okay, so it's close. Right? He wrote Asara Ma'amarot.
The Kabbalist.
Big one. Right? He says that what? That המבקש רחמים על זיווג עליון לפי הכוונה שזכרנו והוא צריך לאותו דבר הוא נענה תחילה. It's a Gemara that's brought up in Baba Kama that says that when you need exactly we actually know a story which I've said it before. There were two mothers on Yom Kippur in Deal, New Jersey that were in the ladies section and you know the story. I told this to you.
I think you told us by the Asar Simei Tshuva.
Possibly, right? It's classic, it's perfect. That one had a boy and one had a girl that they were of marriageable age. And they said, they made a deal, let's pray for each other's kid. So they prayed for each other's kid. That year, those kids ended up getting married together. Amen. It's crazy. It's a true story. It's unbelievable.
What's the Zivug Elyon?
Zivug Elyon is what? The Zivug between Yaakov and Rachel and Shamayim. The Zivug between Yaakov and Rachel and Shamayim. It's heavy stuff. So he's explaining that's what Rahok Mepeninim Michra. What does Michra mean? The Meche, the value of her, comes far. That's called Peninim. Sharet Talui ve'omed bezivug elyon. That is contingent upon the zivug that they have elyon. Remember, you always have a counterpart. You're tachton, and then there's you in elyon. You're both. Right? And what? Sharet Talui ve'omed bezivug elyon. Umi shemitpalel al ze הזיווג, שהוא זיווג נעלם של הפנימיות, לפני ולפנים וקדוש קודשים, is called pearls. The person that prays for the right zivug, for Hashem, when you pray, what do you want? You don't want your kid to. We grew up always. You say good family. We don't care about money. We care about a good family. Okay, that's all we care about. We want our kids to marry a good family. I changed it a little bit, And I said, I just pray, I want them to marry the zivug. And the zechut of our learning with Zera Shimshon, all your children should be married to all the zivugim.
Amen.
And it's why? Because if Hashem wants your kid or you to marry whatever one, who am I to try to change it? So if you pray, so the Asara Ma'amarot is explaining, if you pray for the Kavanah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to do what He wants, then you'll be Matzliach, right? And that's what it means. Peninim are the pearls. שנקראו כך, לפי שיושבות לפני ולפנים, ואז דווקא יזכה בה. And then you'll be able to be zocher this type of woman. So if there,
name is Pnima.
Penima.
And also they just call.
That's the point. That's the next part. Eshet Chaimim Sa Verachok, distant, upstairs in Shemaim. Peninim Michla, her value.
To the Holy Swan and read Kasupa this Shabbos in the shul.
We say Azam Bishpahin. Azam Bishpahin, yeah. We say Azam Bishpahin,
We
yeah.
know that minhag. It's beautiful. It's like Shabbat Chatana or Shabbos Chatana or Mashru. What's the name? It's like such a thing.
It's important to say. I think that is yes, sir. Yes. One second. Excuse me. He asked, raised his hand. I said yes. Kid, go ahead.
Why should there be any prayer whatsoever? That means you don't have enough in Muna and Hashem that He already made the shidduch for you in the first 40 days.
Very good question.
Why pray at all?
So why pray at all?
He's not married. He wants to get married. He's dominant to get married.
Who cares? Let's say the guy said he's right.
He's dominant.
So let me help you. You guys want to argue among yourselves, or you want the answer? Just let me know. The answer is, if you look at the Sidur Matok Midvash, right? It explains the reason. When he says Atachon Adam Da'at, right? You not only pray. When you pray the Amidah, you have to have in mind that not only am I praying for all these 18 berachot, I'm also understanding it's a mitzvah to ask. I have a hiyuv, an obligation to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I have an obligation. I know everything's from Him, but I also, because I asked the Pittsburgh Rebbe that a long time ago, I said, I don't understand. If I know that everything's from God, you read all the books of Musar, they all say HaKadosh Baruch Hu, beauty. So what do I have to ask for anything? Whatever comes to me, I know it's from Him. If He doesn't want it, I'm not going to get it. So why do I have to even pray at all? So he laughed at me. He laughed. He goes,
if you think about it, let's say your boss decides he's going to give you a promotion this year. But then throughout the year, like, you're just like not a good employee, or you're not treating him well. That promotion that he was planning on giving to you, he's just not going to give to you. So
right.
it could
No, but that's not the mushal. The mushal is you're being a fine employee. He's going to give you the promotion, but he's waiting until you ask for it.
Right.
Mapitom.
Very much
Why do
better.
I have to ask
Much
for the
better.
promotion? Just give it to me if I'm doing a good job.
That's
Yeah.
me.
No, it's a company here.
yeah? You're going to give you guys a promotion?
I have a better
Or you're going to wait till they ask? Ari, you heard me? Ari, you heard me?
I've given promotions. I've given
I have a better
asking.
What's that?
says he's going to get it anyway?
Charles.
Because you have an obligation. It's coming to you anyway.
No, he's saying you might not get it.
No.
He's saying you're going to get it anyway.
You know the secret behind the Zohar HaKadosh says.
My turn.
I'm sorry, yes.
This Parsha, Avraham Avinu sends
Guys, please.
And Eliezer davens to Hashem that He should help him get the zivuk for Avraham Avinu's son Yitzchak Avinu.
Yeah.
So you see,
No.
you have to daven.
Yes.
Daven for somebody else's zibuk. That's another thing.
Well, that's what we just said. But the question is,
Still,
but the question is, but Yaakov, excuse me, Yaakov's question, you gave him an example. Listen to me. You gave him an example. You didn't give him the reason. You gave him an example of it.
I have another reason.
I'm going to give you.
Torah of Breslev, the Rabbi Nachman says, when you daven for something, you make a vessel for you to receive it. You can hold it; it will be yours. If not, it could blow up on you and not be
That
a
is
good
not
thing.
the reason why you pray.
Huh?
That is not the reason.
That's a reason that Rabbi Nachman says why you have to pray for it, so that Hashem wants to give it to you.
You have to be ready for
It
it.
has to be good for you. So when you daven for it, you make a kli so that it will be good for you when Hashem gives it to you.
That's also why we say Sim Shalom Tova V'Racha. Hayim v'Hayis, right? V'Tov levarchenu. V'Tov be'enecha levarchenu. Whatever's good in your eyes, you'll bless me. If it's not good for me, don't give it to me. Even though I want money, but if it's not good for me at that time, it's not. I don't want it.
Sometimes the answer is no.
Sometimes the right answer is no. But to answer Yaakov's question, if I know that everything's from Hashem, why do I have to ask for it? It's a great question. And I asked the Pittsburgh Rebbe that question, Mr. Bloomberg, and he told me, you know what he told me? He laughed and he goes, it's a mitzvah to ask. Because right now, you know what kind of Kiddush Hashem we're creating by every Hayil, right? Every, one of my favorite videos, we have, God bless, 1,000 videos, right? My favorite one, was Mr. Brennan, I told you about. My favorite one was when you have 200 people in the room.
Married, so it's a proof. It's a
I
good
know, we're all
rocks.
still married.
Almost 22
You're
years.
preparing a gift, right? And you're going to give those cleats or that feeling, whatever it is, that you're preparing for your child. But it's so much more amazing if the child is there. I really hope you're going to get it for me. Can I please have that? Because I really need it. I know you need it. I'm getting it. I already got it. But you asking for it makes it so much more pleasant.
Okay, good.
For me, it's a giver.
Good. I like it.
Why does Hashem need that?
He doesn't need nothing. Hashem doesn't need nothing.
So Hashem doesn't need that. So it's not about Hashem feeling a certain way.
But he does need
us
an
feeling a
He
certain
needs
way
an
by asking.
Doesn't need nothing.
He wants an
He wants one. Because he has names that he wants to be called by.
It's for us. So it's good for us we should ask. Not as good for Hashem we should ask.
No, but by you asking him, you're building a relationship with him.
Yeah,
But it's all about you, right?
For the benefit of Hashem.
He's saying you have to daven for the zivug ga'ilyon. It's like you're davening for Hashem. When you say Baruch Atah Hashem,
Oh yeah, it's the nimshah of the mashal. The mashal, the nimshah.
You're davening for Hashem, kivyachol.
For the Shekhinah. For the
Hashem
Yichud.
doesn't need nothing. He's Ein Sof. He's perfect. On the other hand, once He created the world, He needs us to be with Him.
He doesn't need anything.
He does.
He doesn't need us.
He does.
He does not need.
Ein melech belo am. It says it.
Could God lift, or could God create a rock He can't lift?
Don't start now. I'm telling you.
So I'm telling you, it's not a real question.
Because there's a machlokes between the Gra and the Alter Rebbe.
Hold on. We got the Haronim over here. Go ahead.
There's the machlokes between the Gra and the Alter Rebbe about whether or not, right? The Alter Rebbe says, what are you talking about? Ein od milvado, there's nothing except Hashem. Or sorry, the Gra says Ein od milvado, there's nothing except Hashem. And the Alter Rebbe says, no, Hashem created a space within Himself for us. So yesh mashu od milvado, and each one's called the other kfira.
Oh yeah. Okay, but I'll tell you something similar, not as rough as that one. But
Zohar says,
listen. You had Rabbi Steinberg. Remember Rabbi Steinberg with the 100 tzitzits, right?
So I had this list.
I met him.
Wow.
And him and Acham Avadia Yosef are sitting together. Acham Avadia, okay, Gaon Olam. And once when they're giving each other's berachot, first of all, you should know. You can look at this up on YouTube, Chaim. Okay, it's crazy.
That's what I do.
Who's that for YouTube?
This
is my YouTube time right now. I'm here.
I'll take it. I'll take you to time. Listen. So hey, listen to me.
If we don't keep the Torah, there's no Shamayim Va'aretz.
So that's a problem for us. That's not a his problem. That's an us problem. That's a me problem.
He wants the world. He created it.
I also want the world. Are you crazy?
He created you.
All right, listen. So Rav Steinberg.
Let's hear what Rav Steinberg said.
Rav Steinberg says he gives a berachat to Chacham Ovadia, and he tells them, boys, listen. And he tells them that you should have beracha in ruhaniyut and gashmiyut. Okay, Chaim, it's for YouTube time. It's for you. He tells him. Rav Steinberg says, I give you a berachat that you should have beracha ruhaniyut, right? In your spirituality. And your gashmiut and your physicality. And what does Chacham Ovadia say? You should have beracha in your gashmiut and also your ruhaniyut. Switches the order. And Rabbi Steinberg says, ruhaniyut lifnei gashmiut. And Chacham Ovadia says, gashmiut lifnei ruhaniyut. Says the opposite. One says spiritual before the physical. The other one says physical before the spiritual. It's a famous machlok in Pirkei Avot. Right? In Kemach, and Torah, and Kemach. Right? No Torah. Without money, there's no Torah. But without money, there's no Torah. Without money, there's no Torah. And without Torah, there's no money. If you don't learn Torah, you ain't gonna have money. But if you don't have money, you can't pay for guys to learn. So it's like, which one? You understand? You can't. You need one or the other. You need both. But it was funny. You can look it up on YouTube. Them fighting back and forth.
It's obvious.
It's cute. It's very cute. Huh?
It's obvious what Gashmi is first.
That's machloket. That's a Chavadia. It's Faradi. Mabruk.
The whole basis of everything we learn about in the Hasidic world is that we're physical people and we raise up the spiritual to the physical.
Wait, they're talking about Hasidic.
Your reference point is where you start from. You start from where we are. We're right here. We're not malachim. We're humans. So it has to be
the spiritual is only through the Gashmi.
Good. And I'm sure Rav Scheinberg could have an answer for you.
Maybe his answer works for him, but not everybody's got 100 pairs of scissors.
So Rav Scheinberg was not born with 100 pairs of tzitzit.
Yeah.
He was born with none, just like me and you.
And he used to play baseball. You know?
Let's continue. We got more. That's a terrible idea.
First the Ruchniut, and then the Gashmiut.
Okay, let's continue. All right, okay, so now you marry her. Remember, all this is now you marry her. Right? Batach ba lebala. Right? Okay, I got you. Ruchani before Gashmiut. Sfaradim are more into the Gashmiut. We bruise like peaches. We need the Gashmiut first. I'm sorry. Right after now let's say Baruch Hashem, you got her. Okay, whichever way you got it, you got it. Okay, you got her.
Where now?
Right? Batach ba lev ba'la. Okay, which means what? That he trusts her actions. Or the heart. Batach ba lev. She trusts in the heart of her husband. What does that mean? Shebishvila yeh leba'la beracha v'shalom ve'oshed. Okay, like there's a Gemara in Yevamot.
No, the husband's heart trusts her.
Right. I'm sorry. Ruhaniyut or Gashmiut? Which one you want first? Right. I'm sorry. I read it backwards. So, right. The husband trusts the heart of the woman. What does that mean? That because the Baal knows that she's giving him beracha, shalom, and osher. Meaning the beracha comes from the wife. Right? The beracha comes from the wife, like it says in the Gemara in Yevamot. Samech bet Amud bet. Oh, Samech bet Amud bet. By the way, that's right around the whole. That's good. That's a good daf. You have Rabbi Yehuda about the mother. You have Rav and Rabbi Haya, his uncle, says, "Why are you buying stuff for your wife? Your wife is crazy."
It's enough that she
protects
me, that she raises my children and keeps me from sin.
I love you. Very good.
And you give her, she's quiet.
It's a good daf.
It's a great daf. I'm saying because that's Samech Gimel, I think, but it's on the bottom. But yeah, lefi wak kemekatregim los ayu rotzim she'adam yeh sharui letova. The mekatregim do not want us to have a happy life. Who are these mekatregim, Mr. Brenner? Who are these mekatregim? Mekatregim, right? The malachim that create. Yeah, and Yom Adin, by Yom Adin, you're going to have your Mekatregim on one side, and you're going to have your Sanigorim, right? Your the good guys, right? Your defendants on the other side. And let them hash it out. But that's what's going to happen. That's emet. That's why the Sadiqim are very sensitive to sin. I had a friend, actually, I'll tell you, we mentioned Rabbi Scheinberg. I had a friend who, I'm not going to say the story, never mind. But
now we want to hear it.
I can't say.
It's a great story.
The Sadiqim are very sensitive to sin because they work on themselves so much. So right, we talk about bringing flour, right? Dak, right? Daka. What do we say? The solid dak or dak solid maybe. That solid is flour, very fine flour, finely sifted flour to make sure there's no chrupski in there. Right, to make sure there's nothing in there. Daka min adaka, yeah. And why? Because the Ari, and the Sadiqim work on the midot in the same way. They work on. That's why you want to be a gadol, work on your midot. You want to be close to Hakadosh Baruch Hu, work on your midot.
Can't fix any midot. I tried years.
You could only. Rabbi Katz said it perfectly. He said you can only work on one at a time. You cannot work on more than one at one. You can't. Pick one. Don't pick two.
Also, what is it? Rav Yisrael Salander said it's easier to finish Shas than to be metaken one midah. That doesn't mean it can't be done.
Doesn't mean it can't. You look at any picture. We've said this story before in this exact room. Not Rav Aaron Kalla, Rav Shlomo Oribach, Rav Shlomo Zalman Oribach. Yeah. If you look at any picture, you Google his name. Every picture you'll see of him is smiling. Every picture. But if you ask his havruta that he had before he got married, that he would get so angry, they had to make an agreement. They would only learn the Gemara with Rashi and Tosfot, nothing more. The Daf of Gemara that they were learning, nothing more, because they would get into fights. And he would get so angry and so, worked up. that they had to make an agreement, and this story was verified because they found the Havruta. They found the guy. What's the thing? What's the story? The wedding night of Rav Oribach, right? Rav Zalman Oribach. He made a neder. Made a neder to himself, and he said that for the next 10 years, after the conversation that whatever it is with my wife, I'm going to do what she says. I'm going to do whatever she says. And Rav Zalman says it was the hardest 10 years of his entire life. But after that, after you go through that exercise, please, after 10 years, you all know the answer already. You don't have to wait 10 years. You don't have to say yes to her all the time. You know the answer. It's not that important. Generally speaking, it's not that important. No one's going to melt if you follow her lead or you follow your lead. I'm talking from experience. There's a lot of things that I wanted and I fought tooth and nail. I'll give an example. We wanted to set not the Tesla. It's just the car.
Which one?
By the way, I was sitting with a kid today. The guy's 9 years old, 10 years old, and he's like, "Oh, you have a Tesla?" This I go, "Torah's better than a Tesla." So he goes, I promise. But he needs to hear it. Let him know. So I remember my wife wanted to send our kids to a specific school, and I wanted to send my kids to a specific school, not the same school. Okay, for 2 weeks we're fighting in the house. 2 weeks, 10 weeks, 2 weeks. Finally we say, why are we fighting for? Let's just go to the rabbi. Why are we wasting our time? Let's just go to Rabbi Azakot, our rabbi. Let's go ask him. Okay, sure, let's go. We go, we sit down. What does he tell me after hearing both sides? Go to the school that she wants. Now I'm fuming. Look at her, he's ear to ear, Mr. Ear to ear. So listen, the school. But I say, what do I say when my rabbi's office, and this is legit? I said, we have a mitzvah deoraita to follow your rabbi. It's a pasuk in Ekev, chol asher yirucha, right? Yamin small. Whatever he tells you your left is your right, and your right is your left. You follow him. No?
It's going on a Sanhedrin.
Sanhedrin with the rabbis. With the Kohanim, actually, if you really want to go further. It's a Mesilai Sharim. Have you learned Mesilai Sharim lately?
What? Have I learned what?
Mesilai Sharim lately. So it's in there.
Yeah, but it's going on a Sanhedrin. I understand. You could take it to mean your Rav. If it's going on everyone's individual Rav, then if their Rav says the right is the left, your Rav says the left is the left.
The Peshat is you follow your rabbi.
Yeah, that's Peshat.
You follow your rabbi. You follow your rabbi. And the other thing that says in the Torah is what? Is you have Shalom Bayit. You have to have Shalom Bayit. So I said, when it comes to Hashkafa, I am super, super strict. I make jokes all the time, and I don't care about a lot of things. Hashkafa is the only thing I really care about. It's very, very important to me. But when I realized that you have two mitzvot deoraita from the Torah, follow your rabbi, and make peace in your house. I said, you know what? I said fine. I called uncle, and I did fine. I went. I said,
What do you call uncle?
When you're wrestling, you call uncle. That's what it's called in America. That's what they do.
Mercy.
Mercy, right? And I did it, and I used to get the bill, and I used to not care. You kick my kids out, kick them out. I don't care. I don't want them anyway. But I'll tell you that my business that I own today is in the zechut. All the people that put me in business are the people from that school, and I know that I got beracha because I followed the Torah. Not because I followed my heart, because I followed the Torah. And I know that Baruch Hashem, you understand? It's not how you feel. It's what it tells you. Don't try to make an IKEA closet without looking at the instructions. Because guaranteed, one of those shelves are going to be the other side. You know what I mean? Right or wrong?
I with the instructions.
I have one right there. This one is the other one. This is the wrong one. So now, I'll go back to Ayin Yan.
It's interesting. Can I?
Yeah.
So outside of New York and Israel, how do Goyim live in America? They find a job and then they go live near that job, right?
Okay.
And Jews find a community they want to be in and then they find a job nearby.
They what?
It's the other way around. They find a community and then a job.
Come back to the community.
Right.
Or they fly,
Charles, where's
or
the pasuk in
they work abroad.
Shoftim. Perek, what's Perek Dalet, Perek Tet?
The
What's
community
the?
is the defining factor.
It's not hard. It might be highlighted.
No, it's coming up.
All right, look. So now, Batach Ba'ale Balak. Come on, let's finish over here. We're gonna finish over here. You ready? So it says Bishvilah because she brings the beracha and the shalom and the osher in the house, just like the Gemara Yevamot says that the enemies don't want the mekateregim do not want you to be happy betova, right? Like it says in Parashat Kiteseh ve'achata et shelal oivecha. You'll eat the spoils of your enemies. Now what? Sheyeh lo mamon hadbeh, that you can have a lot of money. The exact opposite of the mekateregim wants from you. They don't want you to be happy. They don't think you deserve to be happy. They think you deserve to be bad. Right? And this, the wife is going to give you the beracha. Really, the wife is going to give you the beracha that what? That you're going to be able to have. Ari, text them already. See, good boy. Right? That what? That you're going to be able to have the good. Remember, the bottom line is the good comes from the wife. The good comes from the wife. And by the way, I'll give you another thing. Then the word shalal, shin lam and lam, is the gematria of 360.
Chesed.
Right? 5 times Hesed. Hesed 72. 5 times 72, Larry, is what? 360. Right? To tell you what? That it's
360.
They have 360. No, the 5 types of Hesed that come into the world. The 5 types of Hesed that comes into the world. Right? And the exact opposite of what the Mekateregim want. Right? Why? Because their entire desire is to cause bad things and to cause the Midat Hadid to come onto you. You have Mekateregim in this world. In Olam Asiyah, you have it now. How do you have them? They want to, what's it called, right? You have all the goyim, they're always trying to hurt you. They don't want you to be good. They're jealous of you. Why? Because they don't want you to be happy. And the wife removes that, is like a force field around that, and able to give you happiness, even when the mekateregim that you might have actually created on your own might prevent you, right? She's going to push it off. So bottom line, all our wives are Eshet Chayils. All of our wives, I'm going to tell you something else. All our wives are Eshet Chayil, number 1. And 2 is the Pittsburgh Rebbe told me something crazy. He told me, he goes, why, listen to this, it's crazy. Why, you can leave the door open, it's okay. He said, Rabbeinu Gershom, he made he made 3 takanot. One of them was when you can't open each other's mail, and the other one is you can't have multiple wives anymore.
Wow.
They took that away.
Opening mail would be the phone nowadays, yeah?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I missed it. What?
It goes, Rabbeinu Gershom made 3 takanot. One of them was not opening mail. I forgot the third one. The second one was...
Having more than one wife.
Only I had one wife. It always bothered me why he did that. I'm not kidding.
I've heard that a few times.
But listen to what he tells me. No, it's unbelievable.
Which part?
That why did you take away multiple wives? Like, would you do that? Like, it's for the
story. I don't remember it.
Every month,
listen.
2 weeks on, 2 weeks off.
You know the story?
The whole month you get.
Maybe. But listen. But what does he gives me a hidush? What is it? We're gonna finish with this. What does he tell me? You're very serious. You're looking very serious.
Yeah, he said they're synchronized. Oh my God.
He said in the old days you had multiple wives. You come home, the wife wasn't in the mood for you. What'd you do? You went on to the next house. You went to the next room. You go to the wife. One of the wives would be in the mood for you. The problem with that is you're never able to work on yourself. What happens with your wife now? You're forced to work on yourself. You're forced to hold your tongue because you know what comes if you don't. You know what I mean? That's why.
Gedalia says you want you don't want a trophy wife. You want a wife that brings you trophies.
Only if you had money and you could take care of it. Not everybody was
It's not. What is that relevant to the situation?
I'm talking about the challenge. This isn't something that the average person.
He's explained that people stopped working on themselves. That's what he's saying.
People the whole community, 2 guys had more than one wife.
I don't think it was 2 guys. Okay, do me a favor. I just don't think so.
It was with Ruach HaKodesh. It was a Ruach HaKodesh.
It was a real thing. But the point is that once we stopped working on ourselves. By the way, I'll tell you something. I heard this from a class from Rabbi Raymond Beta. Okay, what does he say? He said there's 2 types of people that get married. Okay, there's 80% of the world and there's 20% of the world. 20% of the world marries someone exactly like them. Right? And you meet them 20 years later. Huh?
The 80-20 is for everything.
80-20 is for everything, okay. So you meet them so you meet...
80% of burgers.
Could you just listen? I'm trying to wrap it up. He says that when you marry somebody that's the same person like you, what do? And 20 years from now, you see them at a wedding, right? You'd be like, oh, that guy, same old guy, same jokes, he's great, same guy. But you meet the other 80% of the guys at the wedding, there's a different guy. He's standing up straight. He's wearing a suit, tie. He's serious. He's more refined. Where did this refinement come from? The refinement comes from because the 80% of the guys end up marrying their opposites. You marry your opposite, and the only way for you to work on yourself is to be faced with this opposite being, with this opposite.
Eza connector, yeah.
Eza connector. You have two options. It could be good for you or it could be bad for you.
And even the connector is good for you. That's the problem.
It's a double-edged sword. You want it to be good for you, or you want it to be bad. It could be good for you, but if you don't do it right, then she's a disaster, and it could be bad for you.
The connector is good for you. It helps you grow, become a better person.
Yes, so that's why the Rabbeinu Gershom got rid of the multiple wives. Because the people stopped working on themselves. So that means that we would have kept working on ourselves, we would have still had multiple wives. But that's not the point. That's not the point of this class. But the point is that understand that the woman in your life is meant to improve you, all right? It is meant to refine you.
Charles, were you sure he didn't get rid of that rule because each and every one of them
was annoying?
Drove him crazy.
So I don't know. I wasn't there, but I'm pretty sure not. I'm pretty sure because when the Pittsburgh Rebbe told me that, I said, wow, because it always bothered me. What do you gotta do that for? Like, for what reason?
Does the Sephardim take on the Ashkenazi?
So the truth is, we never took it on.
Yeah, he's not your Rav.
We never took it on, and the Yemenites, when they came from Yemen, you should know that Israel had to change the law.
Right.
Okay, had to change the law because they had multiple wives, and they're like, I'm not divorcing my wife. Forget you. I'm not doing that. No way. So they had to change the law. All right, that if you had a multiple wife before this date, you could continue having your extra wife. But bottom line is that the purpose of the wife is to what? Is to help you improve. All right, you see the beracha comes from the wife. Okay, you should also have, if you don't have a wife, you should find a wife.
That's exactly what he said.
And if you want to have more than
one, he says that exactly.
Right.
And if you want to have more than
all the sheva comes
more
from the
than
wife.
one wife, remember there are more than one mother-in-laws.
I have two mother-in-laws.
I have a good mother-in-law, so I can't help you.
Stepmother.
I have a good mother-in-law.
Me too.
Thank God, I have a good mother-in-law. What?
To get an extra source of bracha, because we just said
yeah, what's the extra beracha? You have two wives?
So every wife is another chunk of bracha.
But only if you look at her for the right. Why don't we do yibum today? It's a Gemara. It's a Mishnah actually in Yevamot. Why don't we do yibum today? Because the kavanah changed. The kavanah used to be to have children, to spread the name of God, to get all the nefashot out from Shamayim. But as the generations went on, it wasn't exactly the what's it called, the kavanah anymore. So the rabbi says better do halitza than do yibum for the wrong reasons. So it's all about your kavanah, right? It's all about your kavanah. In the zechut of our learning, everyone look at your name. I want everyone to say their name out loud at the same time.
Yishai Zera Shimshon ben Chava.
Shmuel ben Shama. Yaniv Abraham ben Shimon. The zechut of our learning is Zera Shimshon. It should give him protection. Yom Tov ben Tamar should be Matzliach. Should have Shemira. Right? V'sitcha b'shalom v'ubecha b'shalom. They should go.
You said it.
Yeah, no.
What?
Your name's not here.
I said it.
What's your name?
My name.
Man, say it now. I asked you.
Michael ben Yelena.
Michael ben Yelena. You should Elech l'shalom v'tachzor l'shalom. Okay? Do a kiddush l'shem shamayim. Shviti Adonai k'nitik tamid. Baruch Adonai l'olam amen amen. Abi Haniya b'kasha amen. Ratzah HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'zakot esel leficha el bat Torah shenemar. Adonai hafez l'man sidor yigdir Torah ve'adir. I need a kaddish.
Kaddish.
Amen.